Well, let's now get into our news review, and joining us in the studio, we have Dr. Palgrave Wachid Dankwa. He is government spokesperson on governance and security. He joins the conversation shortly. We'll have joining the conversation Naya Jantua, former General Secretary of the CPP. But let's start with Palgrave, decked in his white, blue, red. Palgrave, good morning.
Good morning, Benjamin. It's good to be here. Happy new month. December is such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful month.
It's our birth month.
Yes, it is. Tomorrow is my birthday, actually.
Tomorrow's your birthday?
Yes.
Okay, happy birthday in advance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sweetie, let's do it. Happy birthday to you.
Come on.
He will not be here tomorrow.
No, but I'll be watching.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday in advance.
Yeah, okay, that works.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. It's good to be here this morning. It's the final lap for the new Patriotic Party and other political parties for this year's election. I'm aware that there are a few more rallies that are supposed to be done on Thursday. Both MPP and NDC does their final rallies. We do ours at the University of Ghana Sports Complex, where we have all the presidential candidates and running mates and the sitting president and the national executives. All of us are coming in. And today is the D-Day for the security services and the media to go and vote. We would wish them the best as they enter into the ballot boxes to exercise their democratic rights and franchise. And we pray that they continue to make one of the best decisions that is ahead of them to elect Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the next president of the Republic of Ghana. 6 days to election. I would vote. 5 now. Okay, yeah, 5 now. I would vote for none other person than Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on Saturday, the Eastern region. And I'm sure that I'll be one of the first people to vote, because afterwards I need to come back to Accra to do studio analysis. So.
Okay, all right. Just a quick one for you before Nanaya also graces us with her presence. The infrastructure projects you've been, launching, outdooring, some people say, oh, wow, quite a number within a short space ahead of the elections. And some have said, but the government is a continuum. Let the projects flow. But some are saying it's for political gain. I bring it up because of a tweet from Gabi Asare Dako sometime in 2016. And I just want to read it out for you from back then. I could summarize in thought, but maybe I'll just look for it and read it out. He talks about, the fact that the election then in 2016 was about corruption, unemployment, and stuff like that, and that it was about change, not interchange. In other words, change, not infrastructure projects. It's interesting how time catches up, huh?
Well, it's interesting how time catches up. It's interesting how development must be brought to the Ghanaian people. It's interesting how, for me, I'm aware that the governance of a particular regime is a 4-year tenure.
Right.
And so I don't find any problem at all with the commissioning of projects, especially when those projects are completed. Right. Because I'm aware that President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has been commissioning since 2021 of the second term, commissioned in 2022, commissioned in 2023, and obviously commissioning in 2024. So
the rate of commissioning there have been.
No, I mean it's the rate of the completion of the work.
The rate of commissioning has been.
He inaugurated
the rise is through the roof.
Obeche Bilante interchange project,
phase 2 and all.
Very, very beautiful.
Hey.
I'm aware that the overpass of Tema Motorway as well is going to be commissioned this week. It's the completion of work. I mean, it doesn't take a day to complete a work. If it takes a year or 2 and it's done, we must commend the sitting government for using the taxpayers' money well.
You can say the projects are flowing at the right time.
At the right place.
Okay. Well, it's 5 days to go. I've just glanced through the daily graphic, and it's all election-related stories. I mean, it's the season, so it calls for that. But let's start. I want to get into the daily graphic. On the front page, special voting in Eastern and Western region rescheduled. Exercise to go ahead in 14 other regions. And 20 facilities begin free dialysis treatment today. Remember, the date that was given was yesterday, the 1st. So obviously, today being a Monday starts all that. Towards Saturday's general election, 2 religious leaders urge moderation, peace. And President begins Greater Accra Thank You Tour, urges electorate to keep faith with the NPP. These are stories on the front page. Let's start with the special voting in Eastern and Western region rescheduled. Now, the Electoral Commission has rescheduled the special voting exercise for the Eastern and Western regions from today to Thursday, December 5th, due to the recall of printed ballot papers for the two regions. Reprinting of ballot papers for the two regions was scheduled to commence last night, and the recall of the ballot papers for the two regions were sanctioned by the EC in consultation with Inter-Party Advice, that's the IPAC, after it was detected that a single defaced ballot paper earmarked for destruction had found its way out of the Checkpoint Limited printing house, according to the EC. The question I have is, would we rather not know about these things? I've seen a lot of commentary coming in, reactions pouring in about why the EC is slipping. This is not a pardonable, this is not a mistake that the EC should be making at this time. But would we rather not detect these anomalies or these faults and fix them before we go into the polls? Let's put a pin in that and let me do some other stories and I'll come back to you. Now, Biden's long-awaited Africa trip starts with Angola. We're happy to have him here in Africa. Let's see what news he brings. And towards Saturday's general election, two religious leaders urge moderation and peace. 20 facilities begin free dialysis treatments today. If you fall in that category, please take note. 20 health facilities spread across the country will from today provide free dialysis treatments to patients with kidney issues. And this follows the successful pilot of the gesture over the last 6 months, the National Health Insurance Authority has announced. And the free dialysis treatment is expected to benefit about 1,200 patients nationwide. I remember we had that interview with Dr. Da Costa Abuaji, and he mentioned that it will be sustainable even up to 10 years. And they've done some studies or analysis to prove that.
With all things being equal, with all things held constant.
Right. So 362 young people presented with Head of State awards. Institute of Directors induct 127 into membership. But there was a story I'm looking for about ghost names on our payroll. And now I think this has been going on for so long that, right, there it is. So eradicating ghost names from government payroll is shared responsibility. The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has urged public institutions to continue to improve their systems to help sanitize the government's payroll structure and completely remove non-existent workers from the payroll. Looks like they are calling on all of us to actively participate in doing that. On the back page, Hearts thump Ghana Immigration FC. Legon Cities dumped out of MTN FA Cup. and still on the MTN FA Cup, Dreams FC secured narrow win over Hearts of Lions. These are some stories in here that we can reflect on quickly. I'll start with you, Dr. Agwe Wachidankwa, and then we'll usher in Anaya Chapim Jantwa.
So, Sweetie,
how are you? Okay, Doc.
Sweetie, I am very concerned about the Electoral Commission.
Yeah.
And particularly with the consistency of ballot papers withdrawal from polling stations or constituencies that it has been deployed, and the calling of all political parties to come and observe the destruction of ballot papers, and the fact that today is a very important day for the security services and the media, and the rationale behind it is that on the day of election, these persons are frontline workers, as we know it, and so they must be given time to vote. Eastern region would vote on Thursday. Yeah. Western region would vote on Thursday, and suppose that there are security personnel and media personnel who must be deployed beyond their regions of voting. I know that, 2 days is enough to travel from one region to another region, but the Electoral Commission should please really try to check a lot of these things. We want a free, fair, transparent election. We, the New Patriotic Party, want to win this election. We have campaigned very well. We've worked very hard. We don't want any last-minute issues. And my real concern as well is that I hope that on the 7th of December we don't have other places not voting, and also rescheduling to maybe the 8th or the 9th. We don't want a lot of delays with the decision of the Ghanaian people. And for me, I think that the Electoral Commission should look into this. They mentioned that there were some national security issues that came up, and so for that reason, they needed to recall. You know, like I've also always stated, it's very simple. We write examinations in this country. We have printing presses that print our examination papers. If there are issues with the exam questions, the papers do not even come out. And so I have a concern that ballot papers are printed, it's come out to Electoral Commission deploys that, Electoral Commission later on finds out that there are issues with the ballot papers, recall that, goes to reprint and all of that. Look, we're in a very serious time. I mean, this is not, I mean, let me say, it's not a cat and mouse.
I want to interject you here briefly. I mean, I was under the impression, I started by saying I stand corrected, that the NPP didn't have any concerns in terms of the Electoral Commission and some of the mistakes that have come up. When you listen to their rhetoric or the posturing of the New Patriotic Party, it appears, well, whatever the EC is doing, for example, when we discover some anomalies in the register and all that, you say that, well, it is the process to detect all these. So hearing you say, I think for the first time now, that you're concerned about something that Electoral Commission has come up, is under scrutiny for, or it has come under some controversy for, it's relieving.
No,
and if I may add, I think only yesterday Evans Nimako was speaking on this matter, and the rhetoric was still like, we don't really have issues with the process.
No, I think if I heard Evans well, one of the things that he stated was that if persons have been involved in trying to discredit those ballot papers from the print house and arrests have been made, those persons should be made to face the full records of the law. Right. And I think that, I mean, as a political party, we've had concerns, and those concerns have been made very loud and clear. If those concerns have not been made loud and clear, then it means that the situations are very different. But I mean, I state very clearly that this is a very important election. We don't want to be, we haven't seen this. I mean, since 1992, we haven't seen this. And so, Madame Jane Mensah, please, we really, Jean Mensah. Oh,
yeah,
Jean Mensah.
Jean, no Jane.
Oh, not Jane. Jean. Oh, like German Jean.
Yeah, Jean.
Oh, Jean. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, Madame Jean.
All right.
Madame Jane Mensah. Let's say you pronounce it in English. Madame Jane Mensah, please, with the rest of the electoral commissioners. We don't want the 7th of December election. We don't want any place in this country. We don't want any constituency, any polling station not voting on that 7th of December. We want everybody to vote on the 7th of December. We don't want anyone voting on the 8th. We don't want anyone voting on the 9th. We don't want anyone voting on the 10th. All elections must be held on the 7th, please.
All right, but points noted.
I think Nanaya, if you would like to skip your opening remarks so we can just delve into those bits. For us media people, we're also pleading with the EC to ensure that everything happens on cue. Now we have an extra day, Thursday, to look at, but also Saturday, like he started. Let us have it on the 7th, else for us to, it becomes another hurdle. If voting goes into other days, that's a lot to look at. For me, on that issue, I don't know whether you want to take a swipe at it. Locks getting broken, I find it a bit curious. It's not like it's never happened before, but these happenings take away something. We had the Volta and Ahafo situation with ballots. Now, Eastern and Western not going. Like Paul Graves said, since 1992, I've not seen some of these incidents where special voting and some regions have to be voting on some other day. And the last thing, who pays for these ballots? Ordinary taxpayers. What's your take?
Why are we surprised? Let me say good morning to your viewers and good morning to Ghana. I would say that we should have peace. And this is what I was saying when they did the peace, the pact. I was surprised EC didn't also sign the peace pact.
You were surprised?
Yes.
That what?
EC did not, the electoral commissioner, the chairman, did not also sign the peace pact. Because these are some of the things that will bring controversy. And it brings questions, and it also questions the credibility of the process. Because everybody knows that the special voting is done on a day. Then we wait for maybe 5 days, then we do the actual voting. Now, special voting has been divided into two because of ballot papers not being right. I think that Jean has disappointed all of us. Normally, for me, when a woman is in charge, I admire it. I like it. I mean, it's something, but she's a complete disappointment. This morning, I heard her at a press conference. She was even fumbling, mixing printing house with media house. This shows somebody who is totally confused.
Oh, but those mistakes.
No, please.
Let's be fair. When it comes to the real processes of the Electoral Commission and what they do, you can rail at her, but
no,
for a slip of tongue about.
No, you don't slip. You see, it means you read it. Please, you're a media person. I am. We learn communication in school, and we learn communication, oral, verbal, body language, everything. She was fumbling. Even if you are not there, you could see this as a person who is everywhere. Do you understand? And it is possible that she has not been hands-on for a very long time, because most times you go to IPAC, it is Bossman who is there. Things that she has to come and talk about, it is Tete. She is the Electoral Commissioner, the chairman. For Christ's sake. We don't want any confusion. We don't want voting to be extended into another day. I mean, seriously speaking, this is unforgivable. I believe that we should go for Afarijan to come and be a consultant to help them. Seriously, government should consider bringing on board Afarijan. Do you get it? He's done it so well. He's did it for a long time. He's at home, just as a consultant. Seriously, because what has happened is not beautiful.
So as you sit here, just a quick one, because we have to get into other stories.
Yeah.
As you sit here, you don't have confidence in the EC. You can't have 100% system, but how much confidence do you have in the
mistakes
EC?
are one too many. When we're having the limited registration, you remember the same thing happened. When we were having the district level elections, the same thing happened. We thought by now they would have, done well, learned lessons and all that. But now look at what is going on.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence level in the EC?
Oh, 4.
4?
Yes.
40%?
Yeah, 40. Even that one, I'm being magnanimous because she's a woman. Seriously, because, this thing that is going on, it is not there. But give me a little time today, just a few minutes, to talk about this dialysis thing. My pen has fallen. To talk about this dialysis thing. They said 1,200. How many people are on dialysis? How many people have kidney disease? Before we start this, we need to have a better database statistics.
But all of that has been taken into consideration.
No,
they
but
may not have foolproof data, but they've engaged the association, they've engaged the
So the whole
hospitals,
of Ghana is 1,200.
They've come out with these figures. It may be a work in progress, but at least something has been said.
No, but I'm just saying that the whole of this country, is there 1,200 that we have? No, we need to talk about it. Because every Ghanaian is a Ghanaian. So if you are doing it free, do it free for everybody. Do you get me?
I guess it is about those lists they are given, right?
I've seen Tamale Hospital, have they bought machines for these hospitals? Because I know that they come to Konfanochi to do dialysis.
So let me read this portion from the Daily Guide. It says, the NHI also announced the official commencement of the National Free Dialysis Program on December 1. And it says, all participating facilities have received letters of commencement, ensuring the smooth implementation of this critical service. Of the 40 facilities involved,
20
are ready
20?
40 facilities involved, 20 are ready to start providing free dialysis services on December 1, while the others are still preparing to come on board. This initiative follows a successful 6-month pilot phase and is set to benefit approximately 1,200
I know all that. I'm asking a
nationwide. No, you asked me. I'm giving you the details.
I've read it. I've read this.
1,200 nationwide.
I've read this.
So those are the answers.
I've read everything. But I'm saying that Tamale Teaching Hospital, do they have a dialysis center?
I know when Dr. Da Costa Abuaje was here, he mentioned that the teaching hospitals, the public hospitals, the regional ones, would be involved. So while I cannot say for certain, I want to believe...
Because I know people in Tamale come to Konfanochi.
Yes, indeed. There are people who come down.
Yeah, down to, so if Tamale has one, Bolga has one, Wa has one, why do they come down?
Well, Nanaya, they did say that in partnership with the World Bank, government has secured some 45, I can get that, dialysis machines. So maybe Tamale is one of those.
Now they have, so we should have, I don't want maybe, this is the health
No.
people.
He actually said that in partnership with the World Bank, they've secured 45 dialysis machines nationwide, adding that 7 of those machines had already been delivered, 23 had been cleared, and 15 additional machines were being ordered. So,
if we are going to continue, maybe, because you see, for me, they should tell us whether Tamale has dialysis machines.
okay, we can confirm.
Yeah, because if you have procured, and because I know Kolebu, they procure some dialysis machines for Kolebu, and about 30 of them, some have come. So out of the 45, how many is for Kolebu, how many is for where? And if you have only 2 machines, granted 2 machines at Tamale Teaching Hospital, how would that be enough? Because I mentioned earlier that as you are doing this, the most critical thing are the machines that you are going to use. It's not the free. Some centers don't have machines adequate. Do you get me? There are some.
So that's the gap they're trying to fill.
But you
with the
feel it
45
before you
machines.
start talking about free.
Okay,
If
so
it is free,
let's
there are no machines.
hang it
That's
here.
the
When we get
people
more details,
Yes.
then we can get into that
Yes.
conversation.
You did want
Any
to
other stories?
reflect on the NHIA.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I think that you've just read that out. It's very clear that this is in conjunction with the World Bank. It's also clear that it's in phases. And I think that my mom, Anaya, appreciates the fact that this is in phases. I mean, hitherto, these are huge concerns for people on kidney challenges. The cost that government is absorbing is about 491 Ghana cedis per person, per session as well. And we will thank the World Bank as well.
491.
If we look at all
It is less than what is being charged. So is it a subsidy or is it a full payment?
And then it says, so in addition to what Sweetie read about the badges of 45 from World Bank and 15, it says that each badge of 15 machines comes with 2,000 sets of consumables, totaling 6,000 sets for the entire 45. More of such facilities will be procured in the coming years to ensure the continued delivery of this patient. We named the health facilities ready to start providing the free dialysis, such as Heart Adventist Hospital, Konfanoche Hospital, Bantama First Care Hospital, all in the Ashante region, Brekum Holy Family Hospital at Brekum in the Bono region, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital in the Central region, and Eastern Regional Hospital in the Eastern region. And the others are Kolebu, 37, Newtown Islamic.
Are there any hospitals up north?
Police.
There's an up north, that's what I'm
Police
interested
Hospital,
in.
Trust Hospital, Ridge Hospital.
Those, they have their
International
machines
Maritime.
already.
No, yeah, let him.
The rest are Tamale Teaching Hospital, Bogatanga Regional Hospital, Upper West Regional Hospital, Volta Regional Hospital, Ohoi Hospital, Ifiam Kwanta Hospital, Regional Hospital, and in the Northern region, Upper East, Upper West, Volta region, and Western region.
So the Tamale Teaching Hospital is on that list.
No, me, I'm not. I don't, because me, I know that they don't have.
All right. Let's move on to other stories. Man 63 convicted of manslaughter in Chikata sues LPG flag bearer. I know the story is here, so I'll leave it to you. Let's get into your paper, Doc.
Okay, so I think a lot has been said about the NHIA free dialysis treatment, which is taken up today. A promise delivered by the government of President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Dr. Mahathir. On the front page of the Ghanaian Times as well, general election special voting takes place today nationwide. Don't blame the cause of cedi depreciation on Russia-Ukraine war, COVID-19. Economics debunks claims this by Professor Abeka. Transport Minister Lords Shippers Authority for contributions to shipping logistics sector over the past 50 years. Tachusikata sues Kofi Akpalu for defamation. Police investigate attack on NDC's running mate convoy. Caretaker jail 10 years for manslaughter. Special voting takes place. Editorial, December 7 polls can pass as fair and peaceful. Development hinges on deeply rooted African identity. More than 50 dead and dozens missing in Nigeria, both as a sense. Bridging naturopathy and law, a journey in the Gambia. Okay, so this is a Gambian story. Ghana's Forex shake up a ripple effects of CBG's license suspension. This is by Professor Samuel Latte. a few international stories here. NDC government will renegotiate IMF deal. Mahama Guan district is earmarked for Agenda 111 hospital. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Alan Chemantain campaigns in the Upper West region reject politicians who engage in hate and violent speech. Nanaya Osei Dakwa. NCCRM Ghana holds 2-day workshop on prevention of youth electoral violence.
Great. For the sake of time, usually we need to focus on the most important stories.
Okay. That's fine.
That saves us.
Okay, I think that, I mean, this week is NHIS, it's election, it's President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's thank you tour, as he says that free SHS education is a legacy that he's leaving for Ghanaians to aid development. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo inaugurated the second phase of Obechebi Lamte interchange, and the back page has the MTN FA Cup Kotoko beat feature stars. And I find an interesting story here by Otuado. You recall the last conversation that we had, says that I want to build a cohesive, disciplined Black Stars. So let me just go away from the politics.
I hear some members of the Black Stars, whatever, they themselves don't have faith.
Let me go away from the politics and the NHIA issues and just do some bit of sports for neutrality purposes. Says that I want to build a cohesive, disciplined Black Stars. Head coach of the Black Stars, Otuado, has set his vision to build a disciplined, cohesive team centered on accountability and trust during a meeting with the Executive Council of the GFA on Wednesday. Per a statement on the Ghana FA website, he said, Otuado engaged and said, open and candid, after he presented a detailed 56-page technical report that reviewed the nation's team recent failure to qualify for AFCON. Coach Addo accepted full responsibility for the team's poor performance during the AFCON 2025 qualifiers, acknowledging the team's shortcomings. And in the statement, Coach Addo went on to outline key areas that needed enhancement going forward. He indicated that he intends to build a strong and cohesive system that fosters discipline, accountability, and trust among players. And the Executive Council urged him to ensure that the team rises to meet the expectations of the Ghanaian people. Can I go on to my
No, let's go to Nanaya.
Nanaya, you can do two papers together so that
court jails NDC tag over
election. Has to be a little
violence threats. The parties are going to hold their grand rallies in Accra. Foster trust with customs for trade facilitation. GPHA boss to freight forwarders. We've talked about the dialysis. Okay. Jubilee oil field output drops to 89,000 over government's index.
There's an interesting, if you just flip back.
Which one?
I saw pain, no, you're already there. I just saw that story. I saw pain, struggle, and hopelessness. Cheddar highlights poverty on campaign trail.
Okay, I saw pain, struggle, and hopelessness. Cheddar highlights on campaign trail.
I don't know whether Paul Grace has seen that on the campaign trail.
Urges Ghanaians to reject divisive prophecies ahead of 2024 elections. Jospon Group joins Chief Imam for Thanksgiving. I've talked about this already. Health benefits of watermelon. Mahama pledges Farmer Service Center improve trade facilities in a draft.
Doc, let's let Nanaya do her paper, please.
Doc was pointing to Baumia's story.
Nanaya did not do it.
These two, oh no.
You didn't do the story about Baumia. Nanaya, you're massive.
Okay, let's
Nanaya, please go on. Go on with your stories.
Okay, man jailed 10 years for electrocution of 14-year-old.
Yeah.
That's a serious.
No, but there were a lot of stories on the front page.
We have time. We need to go. Make it fast.
So, okay, there's one, the Eastern Region, Baumia, Titans, NPP.
No, we have to do it fast and
we are so Nanaya, do your stories and let's.
That's wins Man of the Year at EMI Africa Awards. Insurance penetration rates hover around. That's a bit. You know, Ghana, we only do car insurance. We forget about properties and all that. I think there's a need. I haven't read it, but I think there's a need for us to go beyond just, insuring our vehicles, but also look at our properties. Okay.
Especially shop owners.
Especially shop owners, yeah. I was thinking about this lady. Oh, Omotola survives gallbladder surgery. Okay, she wasn't well.
Is there an IMF story there?
Where is it? There's an IMF story by one prof assuming. I'm an IMF.
What does the headline say?
It talks about government doing some vandalous Ghana suspend trip over alleged vehicle theft. Just one, okay, Zoom Lion walk for peace and win souls. Okay, that's a good one. Zoom Lion. We should all do the winning souls for Christ. Where we'll go after here is very, very, very important. China jails journalist on spy charges. Georgia president calls for new election. Okay. Ghanaians, your votes matter. Okay, it's very important. Ghanaian votes matter.
Are you intentionally skipping political stories or only
no, you said
the NPP?
I am not skipping. You said Ghanaian, your votes matter. Let us secure the future.
With Baumia, that's what the story said.
Oh no, but it said let's secure the future. So our votes matter very, very much.
Okay.
It's okay. Key. We know we are done. NHIS announces this one. I have issues with it, but this dialysis thing, it is incoherent. Things are not this thing. Okay, oral vaccine, it's a good one.
Is it in?
Yes, Ghana Health Service rolls out oral cholera vaccine. Okay. Africa's incoming WHO
I wish we
regional.
could get more details in terms of where to access it. That's an important story.
So I should do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
The Ghana Health Service has officially launched the oral cholera vaccine as part of the strategic initiative to curb the spread of cholera in the country. The intervention follows the recent outbreak that has claimed 21 lives, with the central region, particularly Ewutu Senya East, identified as the hotspot. The vaccination campaign will begin today, Saturday. So it's a campaign in Ewutu Senya East, targeting the sub-districts within the region. A phased rollout strategy will involve vaccination teams visiting homes. Okay. All right. So they'll come home. Social events. Yes. So it's widespread. They'll visit everywhere.
All right.
The Africa's incoming WHO regional director dies at 55. Wow.
Yeah, that's a sad one. Followed that story.
Yeah. 2024 FIFA Best Nominee announced. Leicester City appoints new manager Van Dijk, Thomas Partey, Mrs. First Premier Ogan. Anyway, so it is done.
So that's it for
that for you.
Okay. So I'm going to blaze through my papers. I'll just give you the headlines because some of the stories have been looked at. Daily Guide, special voting today. It talks about the NHI. It talks about the Shippers Authority marking its golden jubilee. Baumia will sustain STEM education. That's according to the Education Minister. Eagle Eye Mining renovates TTU Research Directorate. And Baumia, our choice for president, the story says. But who is the we? Our choice. It is the editorial team of the Daily Guide. And they have a story there on page 3. And that is their choice. Then you go to the BNFT. Ghana Stock Exchange named best stock exchange in West Africa. Pictured there, Abena Amwa, managing director. Over $2 million weekly onion imports. Worrying, that's according to the PFAC. Definitely a story I'll do. Digital economy could gain 3.74 billion under AFTA protocol. MPC extends inflation target horizon amid persistent price pressures. Let me just quickly do the story on PFAC. So the Ghana imports 70% of its onions, costing some $2 million on a weekly basis.
From where?
Current data from the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana has revealed. And then the Ghanaian publisher Natoshi fires up MPP supporters ahead of polls. Lydia Al-Hassan refutes UG arrest allegation. And EC suspends special voting in 2 regions. I want to leave you with this. The Global Info Analytics has come through with its final predictions. Just my final bit. JDM projected to get 52.2%, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia 41.4%, Alan 2.5%, Nana Kwame Bediako 3%, others 0.9%. Your reflections. Quickly, we have to go.
You're talking all?
Yes, starting with you.
Oh, but that one, it's done. Once it is said, that is what, has come out. For me, the most important thing is vigilance at the polling station. That is for me, as a politician and going through, somebody who's gone through elections, vigilance at the polling station. Okay. And that is what will win as the change that we need.
Dr. Paul Gwebuachi-Danquah.
Surveys, polls, they are good. But when one is tweaked towards the agenda of a political party, it defies all the theories that we know about surveys and research and polls. But I know that on the 7th...
Global Info has come out with its final prediction. Have you seen one from Professor Smart?
I have seen one.
So you've seen one?
Yes, of course.
Okay, what is he saying?
Oh, Professor Smart gives Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a 49.1. And
no, this is the final prediction. That was a projection made earlier. Global Info has come out with its final prediction.
No, Dr. Smart's own is a 49%.
Has Smart brought his final predictions? His predictions were 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yes, which is 49.1 for Mahmoud.
With the 44, 45 points.
He said he spoke to
but basically for me, polls and surveys are what people do towards electioneering, but the most important polling is what the people would do on the voting day. And so,
but in 2020,
I know that it's a strong commanding ethical.
Okay, I have a custodian. Let me just wrap with this because we have to go. A Blackwa disgrace in Ashanti region. Odineho warns troublemakers on December. And so many other stories. Pick a copy for yourself and get into it. Our guest to join us for News Review this morning, Dr. Paul Gwebuachi-Danquah.
I only did one newspaper.
On governance. Unfortunately, our time is run out. Nanaya Achapim Jantwa is former General Secretary of the CPP. Of course, Benjamin and I were here, well represented. Stay for sports. Mufta Nabil Abdullah brings you the latest chronicles in the world of sports.